number 306, dated June 28, 2021, and in accordance with the amendments and additions made according to the order number 526, dated October 14, 2022, the permanent composition of the Dissertation Council in the field of study 8G041 Business and Management was approved in the amount of 4 people. According to the minutes of the meeting number 3, dated January 27, 2025, the Dissertation Council in the field of study 8G041 Business and Management approved the temporary composition of the Dissertation Council in the amount of 3 people. According to the attendance sheet, 3 of 7 members of the Dissertation Council are present. Permanent members of Dissertation Council. Muhammadiyев Булат Митаевич, Chairman, Doctor of Economic Sciences, Professor. Сагиева Рима Калымбековна, Doctor of Economic Sciences, Acting Professor. Таулиева Галия Рахметовна, Candidate Economic Sciences, Acting Professor. She is today absent. Калиева Асем Ермековна, Scientific Secretary, PhD. So, temporary members of the Dissertation Council. Sabden Orazali Sabdenovich, Academician, Doctor of Economic Sciences, Professor. Bekjanova Saule Yataevna, School of Transport Engineering and Logistics, named after Tanishvayev of Kazakh National Research Technical University, after Ksatpayev. Doctor Technical Sciences, Professor. Yagan Jim, University of Malaysia, Terengganu, PhD Associate Professor. They are here. Okay. According to the attendance sheet, 3 members of Dissertation Council are present. Quorum. In total, six members of Dissertation Council are present. Quorum is present. Allow us to begin the meeting of the Dissertation Council. The Dissertation Council meeting is declared open. The issue of agenda is the defense of dissertation work of Rахметулиной on the topic development of logistics infrastructure and supply chains of agri-food products in the Republic of Kazakhstan, submitted for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the specialty AD04101 Economics. Dissertation of Rахметулиной at the Department of Economics, Management and Finance of High School of Business and Law of the East Kazakhstan University, named after Sarsen Amanjolov. The dissertation work is submitted for defense in the first time. Scientific supervisors. Domestic scientific supervisor, Doctor of Economics, Professor of the NGSC. Right? University, just school, что ли? Сейчас, закрывай дату. Профессор чего? Профессор Янова, я? Янова. А он так почему-то NGSC. Sarsen Amanjolov, East Kazakhstan University, Райымбеков Жанарис Сабирович. Foreign Scientific Supervisor, Doctor of of Economics, Professor of the Altai State University, Dubina Igor Nikolaevich. Is he here?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, good day, Igor Nikolaevich.
Glad to see you again, Bulat Nikolaevich.
Let's see here. Official reviewers: Kegenbekov Жанdos Kaderkhanovich, candidate of technical sciences, professor of Kazakh German University, dean of the Faculty of Engineering and Information Technology. Kondebayeva Saltanat Kanapyaevna, PhD, acting associate professor of the Department of Economics, Higher School of Economics and Business, Al-Farabi Kazakh National University. Domestic supervisor is present. Positive reviews from domestic and foreign scientific supervisors are available. Official reviews are present. The council members have any comments on the agenda? Yes? No. No. Okay. There are no comments. There is a motion to adoption of the agenda. Yes, please.
Yes.
Так, вот. Chairman, the agenda was adopted anonymously. The floor for familiarization with the personal file of the dissertation candidate is given to Scientific Secretary of the Dissertation Council, PhD, Kaliyeva Asim Yermeva. Please.
Thank you. Rахметулиной was born on August 2nd, 1993 in Kokshetau. Citizenship is father. Completed a bachelor degree until 2012 to 2015 at the University of Manchester, United Kingdom, Bachelor of Management, a master degree at the University College London, United Kingdom, Master of Science in Mega Infrastructure Planning, Appraisal and Delivery, then a master degree in 2020 at the East Kazakhstan State University, named after Amunjol, in the field of study 7M04101 Economics, doctoral study until 2022-2024 at the East Kazakhstan State University, named after Amunjol, in the field of study 8T04101 Economics. She began her career in 2016 at Rhône-Pétrol in the Department of Quality, Health, Safety and Environment. From 2017 to 2021, she worked at the Astana International Financial Center, then as the director of the Operation Department at the Media Solution Laboratory, and is currently the director of the Operation and Real Estate Management Department at Sana Holding. Between 2020-2024, she published 28 publications, including 4 articles in Scopus database journals, and percentile index of which were 37, 60, 76. 8 articles in journal recommended by Committee of Quality Assurance and Quality Management of the Republic of Kazakhstan, and received 1 author's certificate from Minister of Justice of the Republic of Kazakhstan. Rахметулиной is participating in 2 applied projects with a framework of grant funding from the Ministry of Higher Education of the Republic of Kazakhstan. First was development of logistic infrastructure and sustainable supply chains for perishable food products in Kazakhstan until 2023-2025. Second project, human capital management, improving the quality of labor resources in the context of development of the digital economy, until 2024-2026. The social economic effects of significant of the implementation of two projects on a national scale have been widely discussed in regional and national media. Rahmetulliной actively participate in the implementation of Tuhanjir and Ruhani programs, promote the organization of district scientific and methodological events for school students, provide sponsorship in strength the material and technical base of the Kazakh boarding school number 6 at the city of Ayagos Abay region. Rahmetulliной has significant experience in finance and public communications. Her contribution to the activities of the Astana International Financial Center has been recognized by letter of graduated from the IFC governor at 28 and 2019, as well as a certificate of publication of the IFC leadership program in 2020. From 2018 to 2022, she actively participated in organizing the Astana Final Days international conferences. She also contributed to the AFC project, the Women for E, innovated and participated in the implementation of the Academy of Women's Entrepreneurship program with support of the U.S. Department of State. This dissertation topic, development of logistic infrastructure and supply chain of agri-food products in the Republic of Kazakhstan, was completed at the Department of Economics, Management and Finance at the East Kazakhstan University, named after Sarsen Amanjolov. The dissertation topic approved by the order of director of the East Kazakhstan University, named after Amanjolov, date 28 February 2022, order number 173. The dissertation was recommended for defense based on the decision of the extended meeting of the Department of Economics, Management and Finance at the East Kazakhstan University, named Sarsen Amanjolov, meeting minutes number 5, date 11th of November 2024. On the topic of dissertation, 18 scientific papers have been published, including 4 articles in journal extant in the scope of the database, include 3 articles in the Web of Science for collection database, 5 in journal recommended by Committee for Quality Assurance in Science and Higher Education of the Republic of Kazakhstan, 8 articles in the international conference, and author certificate of the Minister of Justice of the Republic of Kazakhstan. The applicant's personal file contains all the necessary documents submitted in accordance with the regulation of the Committee for Quality Assurance in Science and Higher Education of Ministry of Higher Education of the Republic of Kazakhstan. The submitted materials will be established requirements for the design of dissertation for defense by the Committee for Quality Assurance in Science and Higher Education of the Ministry of Higher Education, Republic of Kazakhstan. Admitted to the science. Defense, sorry.
Okay, thank you. What questions will be asked of the secretary regarding to the applicant's personal file? No such questions? No questions. Okay. The floor is given to the applicant to present the content of the dissertation. Rahmetulliной, you are given 20 minutes to present the main positions of your dissertation. Please.
Good day, dear members of the Dissertation Council, reviewers, consultants. Welcome to my presentation on the dissertation topic of development of logistics infrastructure and supply chains of agri-food products in the Republic of Kazakhstan. The development of agri-food sector occupies a key place in the economic policy of Kazakhstan, due to the contribution to GDP, significant export potential, and strategic role in ensuring food security. However, this cannot be done without the proper modern logistics infrastructure and the construction of sustainable supply chains for agri-food products. The purpose of my presentation, the purpose of my work was to develop recommendations and an organizational and economic mechanism for the development of logistics infrastructure and sustainable supply chains of agri-food products to increase the competitiveness of the economy of Kazakhstan in the domestic and international markets. The object is the logistic infrastructure and supply chains of agri-food products, whereas the subject is the organizational and economic relations that arise during the formation and functioning of logistics infrastructure facilities and supply chains of agri-food products. Here you can see the tasks that need to be solved to achieve the goals. So firstly, we conducted theoretical analysis of the formation of logistics infrastructure, also analyzed international experience in the formation and development of agri-food supply chains, assessed the current state of logistics infrastructure, developed recommendations for the development of logistics infrastructure facilities, justify a perspective model and organization economic mechanism, and also developed a model for logistics wholesale distribution centers. And last but not least, proposed methodological solutions for the formation of logistics wholesale distribution centers. The main provisions are the following. There are 4 of them, which are systematization and clarification of the elements and structure of logistics infrastructure. Second, methodological approach to the formation and development of logistics infrastructure and agri-food supply chains. Third, scientifically substantiated proposals for prioritizing the development of logistics infrastructure and agri-food supply chains, and also a model and organizational economic mechanism for its functioning. The scientific novelty of the key provision of the dissertation research, I just try to briefly explain them. So we identify distinctions in the concepts of logistics infrastructure and its 4 characteristics, develop methodological approaches to the formation and development of such infrastructure and supply chains, identified factors influencing the formation of effective logistics infrastructure and agri-food supply chains, developed a scientific and practical recommendations and measures, developed organizational and economic mechanism for the functioning of the logistics infrastructure, and also proposed and developed a model for logistics wholesale distribution centers, and proposed and tested methodological solutions. Unlike existing centers, these solutions were based on the integral indicator, determination of optimal placement, service zones, number of centers required in the region. Based on the economic efficiency, the indicators such as discounted payback period, internal operating return, return on investment, everything was assessed and provided in the dissertation. The result is expressed in a decrease in losses, expenses in the distribution system, increase in the efficiency, tax revenues, income of producers, and expansion of consumer choice. Moving on. So what is the logistics infrastructure? Let me define. It's an engineering and economic system consisting of a set of tools for managing logistics flows, the main task of which is to ensure the safety, security, timelines of delivery of goods to the end consumer. Developing and maintaining reliable logistics infrastructure is crucial to enhancing economic competitiveness, reducing transportation costs, improving overall efficiency of the supply chain for perishable products. We also have classification of logistics infrastructure. You can see it can be classified by scale, by completeness of service, by type of transport, by cargo, industry, and so on. The methodology consisted of the 3 stages. So the first stage was the analysis of foreign experience and literature sources. The second one, we conducted a questionnaire survey of participants. And third one is research and modeling to build a model of the logistic wholesale distribution centers. The first stage developing, at the first stage, potential locations for the logistic wholesale distribution center placement were determined based on the selected criteria. There are 19 of them. 19 of them. So, sorry. At the second stage, we conducted the survey The aim of the survey was to assess the current state and problems and to develop recommendations for improving the efficiency of function and development of the cold chain infrastructure. On the bottom line, you can see the answers which shows the problems that we identified, such as expensive cold chain equipment, large number of intermediaries, also lack of transparency in tariffs, and the last one, lack of professional competencies. So around 40% told us that there are enough competence, but the rest 60% said that there is a lack, so there is a problem. Based on a critical analysis of the existing methods, we proposed a methodology for designing and placing logistics wholesale distribution centers for storage, distribution, and trade. The methodology for constructing a model was carried out on the following sequence. You can see there's stage 1, stage 2, and 3 stage. The proposed option will significantly increase the efficiency of using transport and logistics infrastructure in the regions in accordance with their needs based on socio-economic, geographical, environmental, production factors, and requirements. This slide shows a lot of tables and graphs, but I'll just highlight some important things. When considering the problem of creating a modern cold chain supply for the food market, it is necessary to imagine the volumes of production and consumption, the volumes of stored and transported agricultural raw materials, and finished food and fish products. And such information is generally lacking, so it was very hard to find the information. The volume of production of perishable food products requiring compliance with the temperature regime was around 40%, whereas in the bottom table, you can see that of this requiring the strict temperature regime during transportation was around 25%, whereas during processing, around 15 to 80%. For the domestic economy, the key mode of transport was automobile. It is the bottom on the right table, shows that we can see the relative stability over there, but there was some decrease in the volume of transported of frozen or chilled products and fruit and vegetable products. This could be explained by import restrictions of the phytosanitary requirements or norms, or also sanctions against Russian. The services of enterprises of auxiliary transport activities in the field of storage demonstrate a tendency to reduce the number of places and the volume of one-time storage places. And the graph over in the top, revenues from auxiliary transport activities of enterprises show that storage and warehousing increased by 155%. You can see the big arrow on the up. Note that vegetable and food storage services are 2 to 4 times more efficient than the refrigerated food storage services. Research has shown that Kazakhstan lacks a centralized body at the state level responsible for the managing perishable food products. This leads to a number of problems. We identified it, like 7 of them in the table you can see, and also analyzing the most significant problems, we suggested our recommendation for the business and for the state. For example, for the business, it's more about the modernization of cold chain infrastructure, support for farmers, personal training, digitalization, whereas for the state, it's more about the regulatory frameworks, infrastructure audit, providing subsidies, and state investments. At the first stage of the study, to determine potential locations for the wholesale distribution center, the optimal solution was to divide regions into 6 clusters. You can see it on the table. The obtained cluster results are summarized by production and regional potential infrastructure characteristics. The rating assessment of the regional entities identified key territories for the placement of wholesale distribution center. It is recommended to build them near the major cities. For example, Almaty, Astana for the distribution and trade, or Shymkent, Aktobe, and Karaganda for distribution. We also identified that there is a need to build 25 wholesale distribution centers. In the map, you can see that 13 for storage, wholesale distribution center, 7 for distribution, and 5 for trade. So all in all, it is 25. Based on a theoretical analysis of the literature, we'll consider the environment, condition, factors, and risks affecting the perishable products. The study showed that Kazakhstan's high international trade intensity is associated with existing economic ties, huge economic potential, and the country's geographical location. This slide shows the main directions of development of logistics infrastructure and supply chains of agri-food products in Kazakhstan, and also priority directions of development of marketing infrastructure in the national agro-industrial complex. The creation of a logistic wholesale distribution center will allow domestic producers of agricultural products to improve the competitiveness, increase its share in products, improve financial conditions, attract additional investments, increase labor productivity, optimize logistic costs. Whereas for the state, some problems can be solved by reducing the chain of intermediaries, reduce the unemployment rate, legalize the shadow turnover of agricultural products, substitution of imported agricultural products with domestic ones. So figure illustrates the operating mechanism of logistics wholesale distribution center. Goods undergo quality assessment, require documentation, packaging, labeling, processing, also legal advices, also procurement contracts, exchange-based sales, and everything is conducted over there. The developed organizational and functional structure of a logistic wholesale distribution center management and the model of its formation based on the private-public partnership mechanism, combining all logistics, production, and technological processes into one chain, as well as the sale and marketing of agricultural products on the commodity exchange, contribute to the formation of organizational and methodological support for the wholesale distribution center. Consequently, logistics wholesale distribution center for agri-food products help to solve the problems of both local agricultural producers and the state, and contribute to increasing the efficiency of the market system of agri-food products by rationalizing economic ties between agricultural producers and retail enterprises. So here the graphs, we identified and analyzed best foreign experience in the sale of agricultural products around the world, and so far this is the best solution to build wholesale distribution centers, and there is no other better solution. And over the world, the state economically stimulates the creation and development of such centers and participates in the management, partially regulating this process until the project reaches self-sufficiency. However, the results of the study show the great potential and effectiveness of this center. So we assess the effectiveness of the project to create these centers based on the coefficient of overall economic efficiency of capital investment, internal rate of return, project investment profitability, and discount payback period. Here, and also we extrapolate the dynamics of net profit under the pessimistic and optimistic scenarios. For example, under the pessimistic scenario, you can see that project investment profitability ratio is 1.85, whereas for optimistic 6.1. Discounted payback period 15 for pessimistic years and 9 for optimistic. Coefficient of overall economic efficiency of capital 6.2 for pessimistic and 31 for optimistic case. So this means that the development investment project is profitable and can be considered for the future. So here I can, these are my economic effectiveness in creating logistic wholesale distribution centers. It can be expressed in reduction of product loss and expenses in the distribution system, reducing the difference between the manufacturer's selling price and the retail price, increasing the efficiency of the overall system of supply and distribution of food and large cities, industrial centers, individual regions of the country, expanding the range of food products, of domestic products rather than imported ones, increasing tax revenues and freedom of choice for the consumers, and allowing producers to increase their income. So here in the table you can see that the improvement, the last graph, the last line, this is the improvement when you have wholesale distribution center. You can see that the delivery time, for example, will be 20 to 40 times faster. Production of processed products will be by 20% improved. Reduction of the shadow market also will be improved by 15%. Direct sales shares 20 to 35%, and margin net income will be improved by 15 to 25%. here, this is a lot of, this is my conclusions. You can see all of them. I just skip them. So this is my implementation act. Copyright certificate also I received from the ministry, participated in the research project. There's some technical problems. Yeah. This one. So this brings me to the end of my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for your attention. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me.
So, okay.
Yeah, thank you.
So, okay. The report is complete. What questions will be asked of the applicant? Please. You may ask, please.
I would like to ask two questions. Irina Baevna,
Rima Kalendekova.
I have two questions. What are the main economic benefits of introducing wholesale distribution center in Kazakhstan? And second, what are the expected long-term consequences of the prospect logistic development strategies for the economy of Kazakhstan?
To answer straight away, or I need to answer straight away.
You can.
You can write, then
yeah.
after all, you can answer.
Thank you.
Other questions, please?
I have a question.
Please, Saltanat Khnapiyevna.
Ayum. So, which state programs and laws did you consider it? And what kind of results you received? And how your implementation can affect on the law, or maybe vice versa, law can affect on your results?
Igor Nikolaevich, are you?
Only
Yes. No. Так,
Cannot ask questions because I consultant.
Sorry. Так.
Can I ask? One first question is the necessary question. What the normative laws and regulations were considered in the dissertation? That's the same question. And second one is your recommendation for the state based on what you made them.
I can ask only one. Please say how did you support your conclusions, your main results? What quantitative methods did you use?
Men bir so'roq bereyim.
Yes.
Birinchisi bo'yicha qiziqchi so'roq beraman. Mana 21-asrda endi hozir biz Ulu Jibek yo'lini jonlantirishimiz kerak. Ulu Jibek yo'li bilesizlar Xitoydan boshlanadi. Zapatniy yo'lga. Mana logistikalik hozir yo'l jasaldi. Biroq infrastruktura qolib жатыр. Siz soni hozir ko'tarmoqchisiz. Осы Ulu Jibek yo'lida qancha азық тасымалдау орталығы жоспарлап отырсыз?
Конкретно вопрос.
Şunu bilmeyelim çıkar. Burasıdan жұмыста айтқас, фермерлердің жағдайы жүргізілді. Шынында біздің жалпы Қазақстанда фермерлердің жағдайы нашар, себебі олар азық-түлік дайындайды да, тасымалдауы бар, сатуы бар, бәрі шығынның бәрі сол жаққа кетіп қалады. сол себептен фермерлердің жағдайы қалай? Сіздің мынау цифровизация қосып жатсыз жаңағы. Сол қалай жеңілдетеді?
Yazıp aldınız mı?
Білесіз ғой, тараздың пияз қанша қалды осыдан 2 жыл бұрын. Картошкілер қалып жатыр. Осының бәрін енді жөндеп жасаса фермердің жағдайы көтерілмей ме?
Oldu mu? Temporary members, please, can you ask some questions? Yagan, Divan, please,
Minister.
if you have any question. Я правильно ставил Яган, да? Или Яган?
Sorry, Professor, we don't hear.
Oh, yes.
Hello.
Do you have some question or not?
Yes, yes. My question is, what is the motivation for the candidate to explore on the logistic infrastructure in Kazakhstan? And my number 2 is how the logistic infrastructure can be integrated with the supply chain for the effective economic growth in Kazakhstan. That's my 2 questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. Saule Yertaevna, do you have question? Saule Yertaevna, are you here?
How many questions total? Ten?
It's enough. It's enough.
It's enough.
Mhm. Then questions were asked. While the applicant is, do you need some time to prepare? Yes. While the applicant is preparing to answer the questions, the floor is given to the domestic scientific supervisor, Doctor of Economics, Professor of the now East Kazakhstan University, named after Savsen Amanjolov, Raimbekov Janars Sadirovich, to announce the review.
Thank you very much. Dear Chairman, dear members of the dissertation council and reviewers, allow me to read my review of the dissertation work of Rahmetulliной. The relevance of the research topic is linked to the need to improve the efficiency of the logistics infrastructure and supply chains for food products. This need arises from the complexity of interregional logistics and satisfactory state of logistics infrastructure, warehouse, storage, packages, refrigeration equipment, specialized transport, limited access for small producers to utilize infrastructure, the increasing number of intermediaries in supply chains and the low level of integration among all participants in the perishable goods market. The primary goal of Aygerim Rahmetullinay's dissertation is to develop recommendation and an organizational economic mechanism for the development of logistics infrastructure and sustainable supply chains for agri-food products in Kazakhstan. The scientific novelty of the dissertation lies in the development of theoretical and methodical approaches to the formation and development of logistics infrastructure and supply chains using logistics WCS for storage, distribution, and trade as a respective direction in the industry. conceptualizing transport and logistics infrastructure as a socio-economic system and an interactive process between logistics and transport infrastructure providers, producers, and consumers. The author has proposed a structural client-oriented digital model of transport and logistics infrastructure, refine the components of logistics infrastructure based on an analysis on scientific literature and proposed a classification framework. Conducted an evaluation of the state of logistics infrastructure and agri-food supply chains in Kazakhstan's regions, as well as factors constraining their development using expert surveys, empirical evidence, and statistical data. Performed a criterion-based assessment of regional logistics infrastructure development indicators in Kazakhstan through cluster, factor, and correlation analysis. Based on this, a methodical approach was proposed for planning and location logistics. WGS is focused on storage, distribution, and trade. Proposed a model and an organizational economic mechanism for functioning and development of logistic infrastructure and supply chains for agri-food products. The research presented by Rahmetulliной is a completed scientific and qualification work that addresses tasks significant for the development of the theory and practice of supply chains management, logistics centers, and logistics as a whole. The dissertation was independently authored, demonstrated internal coherence, and contributed to scientific novelty. I believe that the dissertation and development of logistics infrastructure and supply chains of agri-food products in the Republic of Kazakhstan is a serious and detailed study that meets all the requirements for dissertation submitted for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Its author, Rahmetulliной, deserves to be awarded the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the educational program HD 04101 Economic. Scientific consultant, Professor Raimbekov.
Thank you,
Thank you very much.
Jan Садирович.
Извиняюсь, можно по-русски немножко комментировать, чтобы понятно?
Maybe you can say after when we discuss it. Yes, the floor is given to foreign scientific supervisor, Doctor of Economics, Professor of Altai State University, Demina Igor Nikolaevich, to announce the review. Please, Igor Nikolaevich.
Dear colleagues, I'm really glad to see you again, all of you. My review on the algorithms dissertation has been submitted to the dissertation council, so I will miss some positions of this review. I will not repeat all of this because it's on submitted on the site. So what I would like to add to my previous review. I've been known our candidate. I get him around 3 years, and we have regularly discussed some positions of her dissertation, thesis. So my opinion on this candidate is very prospectful, and we can get many more research results from her career. This is the first one. Second one, no, some formal results. From my point of view, the author had synthesized materials from modern periodical resources, internet resources. She demonstrated high reliability in analysis of empirical data coupled with theoretical and methodological foundations of the research, has demonstrated that she can compare different comprehensive, logical positions, and she substantiated very very good manner of comparing different approaches. That's very good for the dissertation. The results of the dissertation, from my point of view, is substantiated from analytical, theoretical materials, and finally, the methodological approaches, recommendations, and conclusions which were developed by the author, from my point of view, could be applied to the logistics chain infrastructure and supply chains of agri-foods production, not giants in the Republic of Kazakhstan, but also in economies of other countries, like the Russian Federation and other countries of the Central Asia. As far as I know, the economies of these countries. So, overall, the dissertation has been performed at an appropriate academic value and holds significant practical value. So the result obtained by the author has both scientific knowledge and practical significance. So from my point of view, this thesis, this work, this research is a serious and detailed study that should be deserved as a degree of Doctor of Philosophy. So Garima Baevna deserves to be awarded to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy on the economic program. If you have any questions, dear colleagues, I'm ready to answer potential questions during the discussion, but my opinion is as formulated. Thank you.
Always. Okay. Thank you, Igor Nikolaevich. Any comments? No comments. Yes. Let's move on to answering the questions. Rahmetulliной, are you ready? Please.
Is that okay if I combine some questions and answer them? Similar questions.
Please, please answer, then we'll ask.
Okay. So let me first answer to Irina Kalmykovna in terms of the economic efficiency and benefits. And I think Professor Jivan also asked the same question about the economic growth. So it's more about the same topic. The formation of the distribution centers will enhance the economy and eliminate the chaotic distribution of different retail centers or bazaars, let's say, which provide a lot of problems. It's like a gray zone, which there is no documentation, no legislation, a lot of intermediaries over there. So they go to producers, buy the product and sell. They don't know how they sell, what kind of prices they put on there, what other intermediaries over there, and the end consumer. So all of them, we just see the price and buy them. In terms of the wholesale distribution center, what I propose is to create the economy. It creates economic incentives. It is regulated and also increase in production, improvement in product quality. Also, our market will be saturated with domestic produced goods rather than imported ones. And if we see, it will be the multiplicative effect in terms of the building the wholesale distribution centers, such as reduction of product losses, increasing the tax revenues. Also, employment rate will be reduced. For example, if I propose to build 25 wholesale distribution centers, of course, there will be a lot of jobs for the people, especially in the rural areas. Also, reducing the cost of the population for the purchase. If there is less intermediaries, of course, the prices will be lower. Everything strengthen the country's food security, in my opinion, improve agricultural infrastructure and quality of life of the population. Also, let me elaborate why I was interested in this topic. It's also everything is kind of similar. It's also the answer to Professor Jivan's. I'm a young.
You may answer briefly. Briefly.
Yeah, I'm answering to next question for you. Yeah. Recently, I became a mother. I have a 10 months baby, and before the baby, I didn't really realize that there were a lot of imported products. When I go to the shop, I see cucumbers, potatoes, everything is from Belarus or Russia. And also the prices of the products is very high. For example, cucumbers, let's say, I'm not sure what is the price here in Almaty, but in Astana we pay like 3,200. It's like to buy meat. And I think this is a big problem, at least for me, because I really struggle to find something organic. Even the little puree for my baby, I buy it for like almost 5,000 tenge. This is because a lot of intermediaries are there. We are a big agricultural country, right? And a lot of laws, even our president says that around 60%, 40 to 60% of product loss, potatoes, they just lay over there in the warehouses, and they become not very good quality. When you go to the shop, you try to buy the organic and very good products, but unfortunately, our domestic market is not providing there. So answering to your question, Professor Gigantivan, this, and also I know there are some people who buy the products in the Caspire. Caspi, they have like that's over there, or Caspi 24. It's in my opinion, it's not okay when people buy products, food for the like in the credit. So I think there is a big problem over there. That's why I tried to solve, or at least give a solution to solve this problem. And also we have a project with my consultant for 3 years now. We have a lot of Scopus articles over there, and we calculate these. And I don't know what is the problem in Malaysia about this, but here I know that the developed countries, they have wholesale distribution centers, especially in the European countries. But in Kazakhstan, unfortunately, there is no such kind of things. That is why this topic was very interesting for me. Sorry, moving on to the next question about the competitiveness. Competitiveness is about quality.
About consequence, long-term
consequences.
Yes.
Yeah. This is quality plus price, right? Loss rate of perishable products is according to various estimates up to 40%. And for example, if we buy, if we take the potatoes or something like food products, there is a lot of loss during the transportation, during the storage, during the retail and intermediaries, and wholesale distribution center. They reduce these losses, and quality of goods improves. And in my dissertation, I have this table of the payback period. We calculated under the pessimistic and optimistic scenarios. For the pessimistic, of course, we took the measure, the best numbers. But even under the pessimistic scenario, you can see that there is a growth. Of course, it will take like 10 to 15 years, might take, right, to give the payback period. But in the long term, Kazakhstan will really be enhanced and economically benefited under the building of these centers. Even our foreign experience, or when I analyze literature sources and also articles, let's say European countries, Germany, China, USA. In my dissertation, I give example of Poland with Mercas wholesale distribution center, and France rooms. Everything, they show the very best potential. And if we aim to be one of the developed countries, Kazakhstan, I mean, we need to at least go in that direction rather than just stay there and promote the just retail markets or bazaars. I think we need to go from there and be more controlled, more more controlled, and have legislation over there. So I hope that kind of answers to your question.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, let me move to another question. Also, Sopna Kanapyaevna, you had a question on the state programs and laws, and also Asim Mekrona, kind of the same question of normative laws. I hope it's okay if I read. I have a law of the Republic of Kazakhstan dated September 21, 1994, which defines the concept of transport and logistics centers. And in the dissertation, I try to summarize the terms related to it. Also, I have references to Nurlu State Infrastructure Development Program for 2020 to 2025. The concept of the State Trade Development Program in the Republic of Kazakhstan for 2021-2025. Also, the concept of development of agro-industrial complex, and the concept of the development of the transport and logistics potential of the Republic of Kazakhstan until 2030. I didn't mention all of them like in the dissertation. I just gave reference to this laws. It's because of the things. Because when you know, right, when you write those names, it shows that there is a plagiat. That's why I just tried to source them. And when we analyze the problems and everything, we try to recommend that there is need to have this legislation and perishable food products, because there is no, I think that this area must be regulated very strictly, and otherwise we will not move forward. Another question is about recommendations. Yeah, I have recommendations for the state. There are 7 of them in terms of subsidies, state investment, infrastructure audit, and as I said, my recommendations were based on the analysis of current legislation regulations, which I already mentioned, like law on regulation trade activities, also requirements of wholesale distribution centers. It was approved in the law on regulation and trade activities. Also, the concept of development of the transport of logistics potential until 2030, harmonization of standards, institutional reforms, and government support. Everything is to develop mechanism for subsidizing the perishable food products market. Unfortunately, we didn't find enough information on that, especially on the audit and subsidies. We tried to collect information, to be honest, bit. We used we directly contacted the companies, yes, but a lot of questions were arised. Why you interested in this topic in terms of the, because this is agro-industrial safety. Even from a Committee of National Safety, they called us and said, "Who are you? Why are you asking this kind of question?" And it's why it was really hard to find information. And even for the questionnaire, when we sent the link to the Google Drive with all my questions, people, there is a lot of spam right now. People think that it is something that if they click to the link. So it was really hard. That's why some of the recommendations were based on just on the literature sources and everything that we try to find. Also, in terms of the development age, you asked about the models, right? In my dissertation work, I did the indicators. Actually, we had a lot of indicators. It was more than 40, but we tried to reduce them by 19 indicators. We had a standard form, so we had 204 regions. It's not only regions like oblast, but it's also little agglomerations and Astana Shymkent. Of course, after we conducted the research in 2022 to 2024, but now we have like more regions, but I think the methodology still can be applied. Also, we had the weighting coefficients and factor analysis to reduce the number of indicators, because even 19 indicators were a very large number. But we used SPSS 21 program in YNU and East Kazakhstan State University. They have this program. I don't have it on my computer, unfortunately. So I asked the IT specialist to put the numbers on there to give me the result. So cluster analysis also we used rating value. It's for high rating to, if the number has a high rating, it means that there is a potential attractiveness of building the wholesale distribution center of there, also center of gravity method, and determination of potential locations. So everything, this methodology, I used it just because we thought that this method will be more reliable. Of course, there are a lot of methods, but in Kazakhstan, no one had such kind of methodology. For example, in 2020, 2019, Kassym-Jomart Tokayev and ministry, they had this program on building wholesale distribution centers, but unfortunately they didn't have methodology. And after a few years, they just closed this program. But they said that there was a lot of money that needs to be invested, and also there is a rate change. That's why the project was very expensive. So they closed it for a bit. But in my work, I give this methodology firstly to identify where it must be located, not just like anywhere, right? Also, it should be located and differentiated by distribution, trade, and storage. Sorry, storage. But in the ministry, they didn't have such kind of information, and so hopefully my methodology will be helpful for the future. So
you used factor analysis and which one?
cluster analysis,
Cluster analysis.
weighting coefficients, yeah,
Regression.
and center of gravity. Regression analysis, yeah.
Regression.
So there was like 10 steps, 10 to 11 steps. Yeah.
Are there any more questions? You finished?
No.
No?
You can answer for
Without him, okay, in terms of, he asked the question. Is it okay if I answer in English?
No.
Please
As I
say
said,
English. Please say English.
In terms of the digitalization and how it will be helpful to farmers, well, there are effects, of course. Even now, everyone is moving to Internet of Things, to blockchain technology. For example, here I have process automation, which reduces the cost of warehouses management, transportation, order processing. Also, it brings the transparency and visibility. So you will see everything on your computer. There is no, like, as I said, gray zones. Route optimization, artificial intelligence algorithm will show you what is the best way to move from one point to second point, and also will reduce the fuel cost. Also, effective inventory management. So predictive analytics helps reduce product surpluses and avoid shortages. So everything will be helpful to, as I said, to farmers through the digitalization blockchain. But of course, they need to be trained. This is also my recommendation for the business and for the state, because even people in cities, they not really know how to use AI, artificial intelligence. So firstly, it needs to be trained, and then to implement all those digitalization things. Of course, we know all the benefits, but we need to practically implement it. In terms of the wholesale distribution centers and how many of them I plan to build. There are 25. This is what we found out. 25 wholesale distribution centers should be built in Kazakhstan. And this is 17 for distribution. This is 17 for distribution, 13 for storage, and 5 for trade. 7 for distribution, sorry. And all in all, 25. In my map, I showed where exactly all those need to be built in terms of the distance, in terms of the center of gravity methods. For example, for the distribution trade, it should be based near big cities. For example, a lot of consumers here in Almaty, I have that in my graph, and Astana also. Whereas for example, storage, it should be near regions like Pavlodar, there are a lot of potatoes over there, for example, or as you said, Taraz, Shymkent, also for fruits. In order to keep the quality of the products, you need to have distance, very, very long distance, not long. So I hope that also answers your questions. Yeah, I covered all the questions.
I can only ask you again about the factor analysis. You received after factor analysis aggregated new variables, yes? New variables. Do they have clear economic sense?
Factor analysis I used to reduce the number
Suppose
of
that
variables.
F1, what is F1? It depends, it's X3, X4, X17.
Page number 5.
They combine
57.
from many, maybe 10 initial variables.
Yeah,
On
the-
page 57, does it have economic sense? This
Yeah,
variable?
of course. I also have a big table, also I showed it on my presentation. For example, for X1, there are also some indicators which.
Page 57. 57.
Show. You are asking, for example, X1, X2. Here,
Yes, F1 is a factor. Yes, it combines variables X3, X4, and so on, X17. On page 57, under table 13.
these are the factors. It's for production. F2 is trade. F3 transporting health, warehouses. F4 is geographical and environmental. So in terms, when we had this weighting and factor analysis, we identified that through the analysis and all those numbers that we can, for example, you can see the highlighted numbers, right? For F2, 0.82, 0.753. So we combine them. For example, if we say X1, this is population, and X2, if this is per capita income.
No, I understand, but
Yeah.
what is the sense of the aggregated variable?
This is the, for example, if you're asking what is factors F2, it is for trade. And factors for F1 is the production. Yes.
So you didn't investigate what is the sense of this variables, yes?
No,
Only formally. Consider only formally.
so we have indicators and we have the factors, and we use this SPSS, right, program, which show that.
I understand
Yeah.
because mathematically, yes, it is clear. It's clear. But from economic point of view,
So why
what
we-
is F2, suppose? F3? You said X1 is population, yes?
Yeah,
And what is F2?
it's trade. It's factor.
F2 trade?
Yeah, for trade.
What trade?
Yeah.
Да, она же
So-
пишет.
Ниже там.
F is trade. What is it then? X2, X6, X7?
This is the indicators. This is from the big
They are-
table on the
They
slide.
all.
Indicator.
Yeah, X, three, X1,
We just
X2,
group
per
them.
capita income. Sure. Population size, per capita income, X6 is the volume of wholesale turnover. It's 7 is. Oh, why it is trade? There are many other variables.
We just identified those.
Okay,
in-
it's enough. I understand. Okay.
Yeah.
It's all like all answers were given.
Yes. And
Yes. Are you satisfied with answers?
Yes.
So, okay. Do you have any new questions?
No.
There are no new questions. So, okay. Okay. The floor is given to the first official reviewer, candidate of technical sciences, professors of Karlsruhe German University, Dean of the Faculty of Engineering and Information Technology, Higinbekov Jandos Hadrakhановich.
Thank you very much. And the official review for dissertation of Rahmetulliной and regarding the first point, the dissertation was completed within the framework of the grant funding of the Ministry of Higher Education of the Republic of Kazakhstan. And also the topic of the dissertation responds to the direction of scientific research determined by the Higher Scientific and Technical Commission under the government of the Republic of Kazakhstan. And including the state documents, for example, state program for the development of trade of the Republic of Kazakhstan for 2021-2025, concepts for the development of the agro-industrial complex of the Republic of Kazakhstan for 2021-2013, and the concept for the development of the transport and logistic potential of the Republic of Kazakhstan until 2030. And regarding the second point, the work makes a significant contribution to science, and its importance is well disclosed. Research provides a significant contribution to the field of logistic infrastructure and supply chain management, especially in the context of increasing the competitiveness of the economy of Kazakhstan. And this study makes a well-founded and practical contribution to both academic research and policy making, offering applicable solutions for logistic development in Kazakhstan and beyond. Regarding the point third, self-reliance level high, the author conducted the research independently, as demonstrated by the work carried out within the dissertation and her contribution as the corresponding author in each publication. Justification of the relevance of the thesis suggested. This thesis is highly relevant as it addresses critical challenge in Kazakhstan's agri-food logistics, including high transport costs, inefficient cold chains, and regulatory gaps. And the content of the thesis reflects the topic of the thesis, Content of the thesis closely reflects its topic. Their structure systematically develops the research objectives, beginning with theoretical and methodological foundations, followed by an analysis of the current state of logistic infrastructure and supply chain, and concluding with proposed priorities and economic mechanism for development. The purpose and the objectives correspond to the topic of the thesis correspond. The research is focused on developing recommendation and then organizational economic mechanism for improving logistic infrastructure and sustainably supply chain for agri-food products. And the whole section and the divisions of the thesis logically interconnected. It's completely interconnected. And the new solution proposed by the author reasoned and evaluated in comparison with the known solutions. There is a critical analysis. This research introduces innovative solution for logistic infrastructure and sustainability food supply chain in Kazakhstan. It refines logistics framework by enhancing integration across procurement, supply, storage, and delivery. Other scientific results and provisions new, partially new, 75% new, and include 4 results. As a dissertation finding new, partially new, 75% new. Technical, technological, economics, or management decision are new and this able to particle new, 75% new. And the main conclusions are on scientific significant evidence well-grounded. The main conclusions of the thesis are based on the scientifically significant evidence as they rely on established analytical methods and empirical data. Stimulation and the clarification of the elements and the structure of logistic infrastructure leading to the development of a structural model of transport and logistic infrastructure and the classification of logistic infrastructure in the context of building effects and sustainability supply chains. Is a provision proven? Yes, proven. Is it trivial? No. Is it new? Yes. Application level medium. Is it proven in the article? Yes. And about next articles, the methodical approach to the formation and development of logistic infrastructure and agri-food supply chains. It's a prevision proven. Proven, is it trivial? No. Is it new? Yes. Application level. Why is it proven in the article? Yes. And, next article, scientifically substantiated proposal for priorities in the development of logistic infrastructure and agri-food supply chains, along with issues for their implementation. Is it provision proven? Is it trivial? No. Is it new? Yes. Application level. Why? Is it proven in the article? Yes. And a model of organizational economic mechanism for the functioning of logistic infrastructure for agri-food products. Is it provision proven? Is it trivial? No. Is it new? Yes. Application level. Why? Is it proven in the article? Yes. And choice of methodology is justified or the methodology is described in sufficient details. Yes. And the results of the thesis were obtained using modern methods of scientific research and methods of processing and interpreting data using computer technologies. Yes. Theoretical conclusion models state relationship and partners have been proven and confirmed by experimental research. Yes. Important statements confirmed, partly confirmed, and the used literature sources are sufficient. The thesis has a theoretical value. Yes. The study explains theoretical and methodological approaches to the analysis of logistic infrastructure and product supply chains. And the thesis of practical importance, and there is a high probability of applying the results obtained in practice. Yes, as the practice suggests new, completely new, and the academic writing quality high. And the notice and the thesis, the dissertation work Rahmetulliной is assessed at a complete scientific study. It had been prepared at the high competence level. The results of the dissertation research are novel and of practical significance. Nevertheless, along with the undoubted advantages of the work, the following comments on the content of the dissertation can be made. The first table 16 presents grouped and generalized characteristics of the logistic infrastructure depending on the 6 identifiable clusters of the Republic of Kazakhstan, but the dissertation does not provide information on which of these 204 districts belong to which cluster. The second, some technical errors have been made. For example, in the text of the dissertation, page 16, it's indicated that the average values of the F1, F2, and F3 criteria were used to select the storage center, and the table F2, Appendix F, it's writing F1 plus F3 plus F5. Which of them is correct? And the source, the total value of the work will increase as the analysis of the efficiency of using the WDC also took into account various special indicators and supply chains, such as the level of stocks, cost of pushing, transportation, storage, and distribution. However, the listed shortcomings do not detract from the merits and the overall quality level of the research conducted by applicants. And the results of the scientific research have been published in 4 articles in journals indexed in Scopus database, including 3 articles in the Web of Science core collection database, and 5 articles in journals recommended by the Committee for Control of Education and Science of the Republic of Kazakhstan, and 8 articles presented at the international conference. The scientific level of each doctoral student's article on the research topic needs equipments for the defense of doctoral dissertations, and the decision of the official review to award the Doctor of Philosophy a doctoral degree in the field of studies. And in my view, Rahmetulliной serves to be awarded the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the educational program economics. That's all.
Thank you. Thank you. Sandos Kadırxanovich. The floor is given to the second official reviewer, PhD, acting associate professor of the Department of Economics of the Higher School of Economics and Business of the Kazakh National University, named after Al-Farabi, and the Bayeva Sultanat Kanatyayev.
Thank you, Vladimirovich. Good afternoon. So let me introduce my official review for the dissertation work of Rahmetulliной. So review consists from the 13 criteria. So first criteria, the topic of the thesis corresponds to the direction of development of science and or state programs. The thesis was completed within the framework of project development of logistics infrastructure and sustainable supply chain of perishable food products in Kazakhstan. Second, the thesis was completed within the framework of state program, the concept for the development of the transport and logistics potential of the Republic of Kazakhstan until 2030. Second criteria, importance for science. The work makes a significant contribution to science, particularly in the field of economic analysis, of logistics infrastructure, and agri-food supply chain. Third criteria, the principle of independence, its medium. Criteria for the principle of inner unity. Section 4.1, justification of the relevance of the thesis justified. The relevance of the dissertation is well substantiated in the introduction. The author convincingly argues for the importance of developing logistics infrastructure and agri-food supply chain in Kazakhstan. So the key justifications include the contribution of the agri-food sector to GDP and its export potential, high logistics costs and significant product losses due to inefficient supply chain management, government programs supporting logistics requiring scientific justification and economic analysis, systemic issues in logistics. So the study is highly relevant as it addresses economic inefficiencies, logistics challenges, and government policy implications. Section 4.1, the concept of the thesis reflects the topic of the thesis. It reflects the dissertation topic is interdisciplinary, combining economics and logistics to address the development of logistics infrastructure and agri-food supply chain. The research integrates economic theories, financial models, and investment strategies with logistic optimization, supply chain management, and digital transformation of distribution systems. Dissertation focuses on optimizing distribution networks, cold chain logistics, infrastructure development, and the role of wholesale distribution centers in reducing product losses. Section 4.3, the purpose and objectives correspond to the topic of the thesis. It's correspond. The dissertation clearly defines its purpose and objectives, which are directly related to the research theme. Each objective is logically linked to the overall research goal, ensuring a structured and systemic approach. The objectives are well defined, logically arranged, and fully aligned with the research topic. Section 4.4. All sections and provisions of the thesis are logically interconnected, completely interconnected. The dissertation follows as a well-structured logical framework, ensuring that all chapters and sections are interdependent. Key logical connection in the thesis. Chapter 1 establishes the theoretical foundations of logistic infrastructure, which are later applied in Chapter 2, empirical analysis. Section 2.2 analyzes the current functionality of wholesale distribution center, and section 3.2 builds on this by proposing an optimized WDC model. Section 2.3 identifies key factors influencing logistics development, which are then addressed through strategic policy recommendation in section 3.1. The dissertation follows a clear and interconnected structure where each chapter builds logically on the previous ones. 4.5 section. The new solutions proposed by the author are reasoned and evaluated in comparison with the known solutions. There is a critical analysis. The author introduced new organizational and economic mechanisms for logistic development, all of which are well argued and supported by empirical evidence. So key innovation proposed an optimized WDC model, incorporating geographical location analysis, selection criteria, and inventory management systems. Optimization of supply chain routes through gravity center models and logistics cost calculations. Economic feasibility assessment of WDCs using NPV, IRR, and DPP to demonstrate project profitability. The proposed solutions are well justified, backed by empirical data, and critically compared with existing models. Criteria 5, scientific novelty principle. Section 5.1, are the scientific results and provisions new, partially new, 75% new. The dissertation presents a combination of theoretical advancements, empirical research, and applied models, many of which offer new insights or adaptations to existing methodologies in the field of logistics and agri-food supply chain. The originality of the study is seen in the several key areas. So it's the study systematically clarifies the structure and elements of logistic infrastructure, contributing to its theoretical foundation. Development of an integrated model for logistic infrastructure optimization, then introduction of new methodological tools for logistic assessment. So the study incorporates factor analysis, center gravity models, and multi-criteria evaluation techniques to assess logistic efficiency, which enhances the scientific rigor of the study. Empirical validation of supply chain inefficiencies. The research identifies gaps in the logistic infrastructure in Kazakhstan and proposes strategies to minimize economic losses associated with product distribution inefficiencies. While some of the theoretical foundation built on previous research, the methodological framework and empirical findings contribute significantly to the field. Section 5.2, other dissertation findings new, partially new, 75% new. The dissertation presents a mix of adaptive methodologies and original insights with the following notable contributions. So first of all, it's a comprehensive assessment of logistic infrastructure gaps in Kazakhstan. Second, it's development of new organization and economic model for WDC. Third, it's empirical testing of economic efficiency metrics, or it's a practical implementation of findings. The dissertation makes a strong empirical and practical contribution by validating its theoretical models with real-world applications. Section 5.3, technical, technological, economic, or management decisions are new and reasonable. So it's partially new, 75% new. The study integrates economic modeling, logistic management, and technological innovation, offering partly new policy solutions. Criteria 6, the validity of the main findings. All main conclusions are based on scientifically significant evidence and are well grounded. Criteria 7, the main provisions for the defense. So section 7.1, is the provision proven? Yes, it's proven. Section 7.2, is it tribal? Yes. 7.3, is it new? Yes. 7.4, application level wide. 7.5, is it proven in the article? Yes. Criteria 8, the principle of reliability of sources and information provided. So the dissertation employs a comprehensive and well-justified methodology incorporating both qualitative and quantitative research approach. The author systematically explained the rationale behind the selection of methods for assessing logistics infrastructure and supply chain in Kazakhstan. 8.2, the results of the test were obtained using modern methods of scientific research and methods of processing and interpreting data using computer technologies. Yes. The research integrates state-of-the-art analytical tools and contemporary economic methodologies. 8.3, theoretical conclusions, models, identified relationship and patterns have been proven and confirmed by experimental research. Yes. The dissertation develops new models for logistics infrastructure and tests them empirically. So dissertation provides theoretical advancements that are empirically validated, confirming their practical applicability. 8.4, important statements are confirmed. The dissertation demonstrates strong academic credibility by referencing high-impact journals, international research reports, and government policies. 8.5, used literature sources are sufficient. The research demonstrates a comprehensive review of existing knowledge, ensuring that its conclusions are grounded in established theory and empirical data. Criteria 9, practical value principle. The thesis has theoretical value. Yes, the dissertation provides substantial theoretical contribution in the field of logistics infrastructure, supply chain management, and economic efficiency analysis. The study develops a structural framework for logistics infrastructure development in the agri-food sector, refining definition and classification models, integrates economic and logistics theories to create an interdisciplinary approach for evaluating logistics efficiency in Kazakhstan, introduces a multi-level logistic models for improving agri-food supply chain, expands existing methodological approach by incorporating factor analysis, cluster analysis, and regression models for logistic performance evaluation, proposes new decision-making frameworks for regional logistics investment and development strategy. The dissertation advances logistics and economic theory by creating new models and assessment methodologies. The 9.2, the thesis is of practical importance, and there is a high probability of applying the results obtained in practice. Yes. The study presents practical applied solutions that can be implemented in government policy, logistics enterprises, and supply chain management. 9.3 are the practice suggestions new, so partially new 75%. The dissertation builds open existing logistic models, but introduces new elements tailored to Kazakhstan's regional economic conditions. Criteria 10, the quality of writing and this design is high. Criteria 11, notes on the thesis. Okay, so I agree with my previous review. So dissertation successfully integrates economic theories and logistical framework to develop a comprehensive model for logistic infrastructure and agri-food supply chain in Kazakhstan. The dissertation bridged the gap between economic development and logistic infrastructure, demonstrating how supply chain optimization contributes to national economic growth. While the study effectively applies economic modeling and logistic analysis to the quantitative validation and comparative economic benchmarking would enhance its conclusion. Potential areas for improvement is expansion of quantitative models, more robust econometric modeling to assess the impact of logistic efficiency of GDP growth. Because Agiram mentioned in your introduction that it has some economic effect on the economic growth of Kazakhstan. So simulation models for logistics risk assessment, particularly in the cold chain management. Criteria 12, scientific level of the doctoral students' articles on the topic of research. The articles are of high scientific level with publication and reputable journals. And last one, my decision is to award the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Economics. That's
Thank
it.
you. Thank you, Sultanat Hanafiyaevna. Dear applicant, we ask you to respond to the reviewers' comments. You.
So let me start with Sultanat Hanafiyaevna, because this was, at least I know the answer. Thank you, first of all, for your notes. In terms of the GDP and efficiency, there are actually a lot of studies on calculating the GDP and economic effectiveness of that. And also, in my research, I analyzed those literature sources. For example, I have authors like Van der Vorst, Van der Zee, Cheng, and also domestic scientists like Srdjana Rozala-Srdjanovic, Raybek Shmara-Sabirovic. In those articles, they calculate the GDP, so I decided not to include them because of the volume of the dissertation. You also mentioned about the simulation models and risks. I believe that I need to make another research on the risks. Actually, that wasn't the initial purpose of my dissertation. That's why maybe for the future, of course, I will see them. But particularly for this project, risks was a bit to more high information. For the for Zandovska Kanovic, you also mentioned about the classification. I know that there is a variety of classification that can be used, but for my research in terms of logistics infrastructure, in the context of building efficient and sustainable supply chain in the context of agro-industrial complex, I decided that those classifications will be relevant for my research. But of course, each author can choose their own. But in my work, I chose those for the in terms of agro-industrial complex. Second one, based on the analysis in chapter 1.3, I have a methodology which determines the locations of wholesale distribution center. I believe that the wholesale distribution center should be like a transshipment basis for large areas and help to redistribute the flows of all the products. And that will ensure the integration of warehouse facilities, improve coordination, and minimize product loss during the transportation. Kazakhstan is a huge country, agricultural country, with heavy losses of about like 60%, but the distribution centers should remove those problems. You also mentioned about the analytics of the foreign experience. I have one of the article which called Designing and Improving the Efficient Replacement of Logistics Infrastructure, which was in the Scopus article, and there I give more examples. For example, more examples also for the EAEU countries also. But in this work, I decided that those examples that I mentioned should be enough. But of course, I have them in my other Scopus articles. And I didn't mention them also because of the problems with what happened. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Harsha. Thank you. The formal discussion is over. The official reviewers have given positive feedback on the candidate's dissertation. Let's move on to the discussion. Does anyone speak? Who want to speak? Who wants to speak?
Dear Professor, do you have any comments? Do you have any comments?
Jaganjivan, Professor.
Yes.
Bigjanova Savletaevna, could you speak about the dissertation?
Yes, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. Basically, what I want to say is the candidate has done a very good job on the exploring the logistic infrastructure by defining the definition for the new logistic infrastructure. And also, she also done a very thorough analysis on integrating the logistic infrastructure into the supply chain, and then to evaluate how does these two elements contributing to the mobility of agriculture food products in Kazakhstan. So basically, I'm happy with the outcome and the thorough analysis of the candidate. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Sauleye Taina. Sauleye Taina, do you hear me? Mhm. Then, Tuna Kalendiakovna.
Mhm. I have only two remarks, maybe. The dissertation provides a thorough analysis of logistic infrastructure and supply chains in Kazakhstan's agri-food sector. It's well structured, with strong theoretical research and useful recommendations. The author identifies key problems and suggests practical solutions. However, in my opinion, some sections are too theoretical. It would benefit from real-world examples. Also, the choice of methods could be explained more clearly. Despite this, the research is valuable for improving logistics in Kazakhstan. It can be useful for policymakers and businesses. Thank you.
Thank you. Tuna Kalendiakovna. Who else? Are you going? Yes. Yeah.
I think
Енді логистика проблемасымен уақытында мен айналысқан едім. Менен кейін менің шәкіртім Райымбек, доктор қорғады логистикадан. Айгүл Түлембаева қорғады. Тағы бір екі докторлар бар. Гүлмира Бадалбаева, Дана. Бізде бір мектеп бар, школа есімде. Университет Қазақстанда. Ал бірақ мынау біздің азық-түлік саласынан тасымалдау мәселесінің орталықтар мәселесі шешілмеген. Жаңа мен айттым ғой, Ұлы Жібек жолында қазір, пожалуйста, жол бар. Жол бар. Күні-түні фуралар жүріп жатыр. Ал бірақ қанша азық-түлік мәселесі бізде жол жөнекей шіріп, жаңағы үлкен шығынға душар болады. Ол үшін не істеу керек? Міне қазір қызымыз buradan Әйгерім жаңағы азық-түлік орталықтарын салу керек. Біздің үкімет осы мәселені қозғаған. Уақытысында министрлік экономика Сұлтанов уақытысында айтқан мәселені біз көтереміз, осы мәселені жасаймыз, 36 ма 35 орталықтар саламыз деген. Бірақ біреуін де салған жоқ. Бізде министр болады, айтады, орнынан түсіп қалады, ештеңе болмайды ары қарай. Өкінішке орай. Ал біздің ғалымдар енді осы мәселені Әйгерім көтеріп отыр. Өте жақсы. Себебі біз енді келешекте былай айтқанда продовольственная держава болу керек. 10 жыл бола ма, 15 жыл бола ма, Қазақстан мұнай да бітеді, газ да бітеді, бәрі бітеді. Ал сонда немен біз ауыл шаруашылық держава болу керек. Міне осы мәселе ең үлкен мәселе болып тұр қазір. Ал тем более мына логистика қазір өзі жағдай бар. Сол себептен мына сіздің айтып отқан методикасын көрдім мен. Жаңа критерий показательдері бар, методтар пайдаланған. Сондықтан өте жақсы жұмыс істеп есептеймін. Жақсы жұмыс істеп, содан біздің жұмыстарымызды қайталамайды. Біздің істеп кеткен жұмыстарымыз қайталанбайды, өзінің ерекшелігі бар жаңағы. Әсіресе Қазақстанда азық-түлік мәселесі өте қажет. Жаңағы фермерлерді жаңа айтып отырсыз, жөндеу мәселесі жағдайларын жөндеп, фермерлердің біздің енді осының бәрін тасымалдау мәселесі өте жақсы болып отыр. Сондықтан сізге мен айтайын деген мынандай жағдай енді қазір. Өзбекстанмен шекарасы, мысалы. Қай жерде азық-түлік мәселе бар, сол жерге құру керек деп ойлағанмын. Сізде ол бар. Жаңа айттыңыз Павлодарда, Шымкентте, басқа жерлерде. Енді жұмысты оппоненттер жақсы айтып отыр. Мен оппоненттердің сөзіне келісемін. Жұмысты жоғары бағалаймын. Рахмет.
Рахмет. Thank you.
Very much.
So is the
Rahmetullinovich, may I also say a couple of sentences?
Igor Nikolaevich, yes.
So, dear colleagues, it was my great pleasure to attend and especially participate in such an interesting discussion and in such a reliable and really clear, mind cleaning discussion. So I'm glad to for my contribution for such work, and I would like to thank all of the members of this wonderful dissertation committee council for this interesting meeting. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Igor Nikolaevich. Так, если желаешь. Is there anyone else who would like to speak? No. It's enough. I think it is enough. It's enough. So then we must give the floor to the applicant himself for the final word.
Dear Education Council, the viewers, my consultants, everyone, I would like to thank you for all of your recommendations, for the notes, everything I wrote down, and my project with my consultant is still going on for this year. And everything that I heard today, I will put that in my future works. And thank you so much. Also, it was very important for me to have a defense here at Kazmon, because this is one of the top universities in Kazakhstan with high-level professionals. And also, this is a matter of my parents who are here today. My father for the jurisprudence and mother for economics. And it was very important for me to make these first serious steps in the research, in the science here at this university. Thank you so much also for, I'm very grateful for you, for that you had all those words for me. Thank you so much, Miri.
Thank you. Thank you. So we have completed the discussion of the dissertation work of Rachmetullinovich again. We are moving on to the next stage of the council meeting, secret voting. To conduct a secret vote, the floor is given to Scientific Secretary of the Dissertation Council, Kaliyeva Arsen Yermekova.
Dear permanent and temporary members of the Dissertation Council and your reviewers, I have sent you links to vote by email. Please follow the link and start voting.
Алло? Да, слышу? Нет, сейчас заканчивается. Сейчас голосование идет. Да. Ну, минут через 205, когда закончится. Хорошо. Хорошо.
Наверняка на времени студенты известны, да, но тебе если да, да, я тоже проголосовала. Вот она, кстати, сундук, это машина. Онлайн, да.
Потом нажимаем, заканчивается. Да, вроде да, правильно.
Результат проверить.
Сколько проголосовалось? У нас должна быть сколько? 8, да? Так, плюс 3, плюс 5. Так, the voting is over. Yes, the floor is given to Scientific Secretary of the Dissertation Council, Kali Vasimir Bekula, to announce the results of the secret vote.
Our secret voting is over. All 8 members took part in the voting. By final decision of the dissertation council was made to award the degree of Doctor of Philosophy to Rahmetulliной in the field of economics, 8D 04101.
Stop. I ask you to vote to approve the results of secret voting. And there, those. I ask you to vote to approve the results of secret voting.
Проголосуйте, пожалуйста.
Подтвердить. All? All.
I am here for this result.
Yes. Yes, 8 nays and others 0. Unanimous. Unanimous. Да? Thus, the result have been approved based on the results of secret vote. The Dissertation Council of Kazakh National University named after Al-Farabi in the field of study AD041 Business and Management decided to
What's the problem? Rahmetulliной decided
to give, что ли?
to award the degree. Award degree.
To award the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, PhD in specialty AD04101 Economics. Rahmetulliной Aygerim, on behalf of the Dissertation Council, I congratulate you on the successful defense of your dissertation and wish you further creative success. The floor is given to the dissertation candidate. So you may say, if you want to say.
Thank you so much.
You may say thank you, or maybe I'm not satisfied.
Of course, I'm satisfied. As I said, I'm very grateful for everyone here, for the Dissertation Council, the viewers, for all the work, for my consultants, Igor Nikolaevich, thank you so much. There was a big, huge work, and everyone helped me. Also, I thank Professor Jigan and Bigjan Mosovlia. Thank you so much also for your recommendation and notes. And Orazak kabul bolsun. I wish everyone prosperity, health, and hopefully we will meet somewhere in the future in the academic field. Grateful to everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I also thank all members of council, constant and temporary members, our reviewers. Thank you. At this point, the meeting for the Dissertation Council for the defense of Doctor of Dissertation of Rahmetulliной Aygerim is declared closed.
Congratulations, Aygerim. Many thanks to all of you.
Yeah, düşündüm ya. Düşündüm. Bir bakıyorum. Sen de Қазақша оқымайсың, ағылшынша қайдан мен орысша оқымаймын. Мынау да орысша да бар, орысша да бар. Саған орысшасын беріп. Мынаны да бересіз. Иә, рахмет, сен қарайсың. Поздравляю.